This is Conversations with Ronnie Keith. Thank you guys so much for joining us here with Conversations with Ronnie Keith and
Iris.
Edie. And so we are back. How's everything going with you?
Very good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of our listeners.
Yes, thank you guys. I want to take the time out. Thank you guys so much for your support. Really appreciate you all listening to Conversations with Ronnie Keith. Last week had conversations with Dwayne Williams.
Great conversation, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Co-host.
I enjoyed that.
One of the co-hosts for Short Desk Podcast, which comes out every Tuesday. And Dwayne will be back on for part 2.
Uh-oh.
He does have a fan mail here. That,
he got one.
Yeah, he's got a couple, actually.
I'm pretty
too.
sure he would have gotten one because, I was very interested about the dad.
Yeah, there will be
the
more
ladies'
on that.
man.
Yes, there will be more on that when he comes back.
I loved it. I felt like I was watching a soap opera.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So thank you guys so much for the support. If you haven't listened, please go back. It's episode 32 of Conversations with Ronnie Keith.
Is it episode 32 already?
That was episode 32.
32?
Yeah,
this is 33.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is episode 33.
What a blessing.
Yeah. So the last time you were on, ma'am, you had yourself a phenomenal interview with Miss Amita Sharma.
Oh, yes. We actually exchanged numbers and we're working on a couple of things already.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Co-founder of
Boss
Nourish
Lady
Doc.
moves. Yeah.
She was on episode 31 and Iris interviewed her. So if you haven't had a chance to check that interview out, please go back and check it out. They talked about perimenopause, menopause, all the things that affect women's health, as you grow older.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So it was a great interview. Great thing that you did. I really want to applaud you. You also received some fan mail regarding your interview style and skills.
Yay!
One person from Winter Park stated, "Iris, you killed this interview, girl. You did your big one." And then another person from Winter Park stated, "I would have never known this was your first interview."
Oh, wow. That's good to know.
So you did an excellent job. A lot of people, they were sending text messages and things like that. So they enjoyed your interview. So
it was very different because at work I'm so used to hosting meetings and being the lead, from that perspective. But having an interview or conducting an interview is completely different. Yeah. And I really enjoyed that a lot. It was a very different experience, but that I'm excited to just dive into and have more.
All right. Well,
Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. So when you don't hear her do an interview with me, it's because she sat there and said, I don't feel like it today. I don't want to do it today. So because I don't want her on her. It's because I got all this going on. I don't want to do it today.
Oh, hush. Don't believe him.
That's all she says. So whatever. But great job. You did an excellent job. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
So this week is about us. We haven't had you and I conversation for
since
a couple episodes.
Before Christmas?
Was it before Christmas?
I think so.
Wow. Okay. So I guess it was. December 13th. That was the last time that we had.
We were getting ready.
Yeah. We talked about our holiday traditions on that episode and things like that. So this is the new year, and we not only celebrated Happy New Year, but we also celebrated our 11th anniversary on New Year's.
Amen.
We got married on New Year Day, so that was very special.
It was. Yeah.
So this year was the first time
yes.
in, was it 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
First time in 3 years that we actually had an opportunity to celebrate our anniversary. The last 3 years, unfortunately, something has happened to my wife every year where we spend New Year's and our anniversary in the emergency room or in the hospital.
Or urgent care.
Somewhere.
No,
I don't even think it's been urgent care. We've been in the
Yeah.
hospital,
Yeah.
each year for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you feel? Walk us through how you've been feeling the last previous years of that day being spent in the hospital for different reasons, right? And then this year, not being in the hospital and actually being able to celebrate and enjoy. So walk us through your feelings.
Oh, first of all, I'm blessed to be here. I'm very excited for the new year ahead of us, and thank you. And trying to relive those, the last couple of years of my health journey here. But the year before, actually, no, it was this, right? Last year around this time. If you guys have not heard that story, what episode was that? I forgot what episode to reference, but I delve into exactly what happened on Christmas Day. Just to make a long story short, for those of you that don't know, Christmas Day is last year. I did find that I had a severely life-invasive blood clot the size of a golf ball on my leg, and unfortunately it got really rough, and all these back and forth emergency visits, believe it or not.
Episode 15.
Thank you. If you guys want to listen to that a little bit more in detail there, that's episode 15. And I ended up spending our anniversary in the emergency room. I was going to say operating room, Jesus. In the emergency room because of that blood clot. I can't talk. Blood clot.
DVT.
A DVT blood clot, yes. And they were able to give me the urgent medication that I needed at that time. Good old Eliquis, life-threatening medication there. And I was able to finally receive it, but I was not up on my feet till like a couple of days later because I was in that much pain. But the year before that, something similar like that happened. I did not have a blood clot. I think I was sick. Oh, I was sick. I got the flu, if I'm not mistaken. What was it? Maybe that was the year prior.
That was the year prior.
I was very sick.
2022.
Okay. 2024 was blood clot.
2023, you had an issue with your stomach.
Yes, I did. Yes.
It was.
You're right.
We didn't know what was going to happen there.
Yeah.
So you spent, you were in an emergency room.
Yeah, in the hospital.
Yeah. I
was having tummy issues, like severe stomach problems.
It was severe. It wasn't just an upset stomach or, she got to run.
No.
Gas. No.
I had to follow with a gastro doctor. That's how bad it was. Yeah. And I still have to go through those appointments. So those are fun, and had to get a procedure because of what happened there. Mm-hmm. And then in 2022, I got the flu. No, I got COVID.
No. Oh, yes. COVID hit.
COVID. Oh, so my God. It was horrible.
Yeah, 2022 was COVID.
Yeah.
It wasn't 2021?
No, it was 2022. I was very sick. Very sick.
You sure it wasn't 2021?
Yeah. No, it was not.
Okay.
No, but I remember it was COVID or the flu, one of those two.
It was COVID.
Yeah,
It was COVID.
Yeah, and I remember, I think Isaac had got it.
He got it, yeah.
And then he gave it to you, and then I ended up getting it.
So he gave it to you first.
You think it was
Yes,
first?
because you were feeling bad, and you said, hey, can we go for a ride because I'm feeling bad. So we went out for a ride.
Oh, yeah, but I was trying to play it cool. I was like, let me walk the dogs. I got this.
Yeah, we went for a ride.
But I don't even know how to explain it. It felt like my body felt cold and hot at the same time. And I was like, no, we need to go on this car ride. No, I was like trying to like pretend like there was nothing wrong with me.
You had it then. And then after, once like a day later, I started feeling bad.
Yeah.
But mine lasted for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I was good to go. On the third day, I was, even though I jumped up, I was like, oh my God, I'm weak. You know what I mean? And so I still had to take it easy. But only thing that affected me was I had a splitting headache.
Yeah. Oh my God, that headache, right?
Which that's how I know I think I got COVID in November because
recently,
I had a bad headache. Yeah. So,
But that's just not an ordinary type of headache.
Yeah, it's like
that headache feels like you have a knife in your eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So this, with that, you stayed with it. Mm-hmm. Well, it was out of your system, but it took you forever to recover.
Yeah.
I think it took you about 4 to 6 months before you actually recovered from that, because even when you got your energy, you had this cough that would not go away. Mm-hmm. You were tired.
Remember, you would I don't know where we would be sleeping. It's like I would have these coughing attacks.
Yeah. And it's
like I can't sleep.
And you were much more tired and everything.
Yeah, so, it definitely takes a toll on you. But I remember that it was so bad. I was out of work, and as a leader, you're constantly hosting calls. I had to cancel all my meetings. My coworkers were so concerned. They sent me flowers and everything. They were like, "What's wrong with her?"
Yeah, I remember.
They were like, I guess they thought I was gonna die or something that.
Flowers showed up. I'm like, what is going on here?
But to make a long story short, I don't want to, people say, "Oh, I feel bad." No, I'm not trying to be a pity party here. But what I'm trying to say is, this year was the first year that we actually got to enjoy our anniversary with no weird interruptions or health scares or anything like that. And it was nice. I'm not going to lie. When I woke up that morning, I was like, this is too good to be true. We're good. We feel great. No sniffles, no COVID, no flu. There's good. I kept on looking at my leg. Remember, it's like, oh my God, is everything okay?
Yeah, I remember.
I feel good. So it was very nice. And then we had went to Del Frisco's, and I really, really enjoy that. We just typically go to this wonderful steakhouse in Tampa called Burn Steakhouse, and it's just state of the art, wonderful place to go to. If you haven't been, please try to get your reservation in. It's reservation only. It's worth it. And we were kind of iffy about Del Frisco because our fellow brother, Mr. John, big time, what did he say? 33.3% of the podcast. He had a horrible reviews of Del Frisco. And I think that's an episode in the Short Desk podcast way back in the day. And I was kind of like skeptical, right? We were like, man, are we going to really enjoy Del Frisco's or not? And let me tell you guys, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it so much that we are ready to come back.
Yes, we had a great time. The food was phenomenal.
Oh my God, yes.
I was a little skeptical at first, but then I was like, no, this is going to be good. So we sat down, and I mean, from the minute we entered to the time we left, we had an early reservation. Mm-hmm. I think they opened up at 5, and we got there right at 6.
Oh, so it was yummo. I say yummo.
Yeah, we had steak. We had, appetizers that were great. The
everything, the steak, the service, the drinks, the food, the side items.
Yeah, we had, so for appetizers, we had like this bacon. It was a thick cut bacon.
Oh, it was so good. Like with this maple type of dressing it had on it.
And then we also had the dynamite shrimp, which was very good. Then they bring out this little bowl of bread cooked together like in 4 or 5 pieces.
Oh, yeah. That was nice. Good. That was so good.
So then we ordered steak. You ordered your little fillets.
Yeah.
It was topped with scallop. One was topped with scallop. One was topped with shrimp. One was topped with the crab cake.
Yeah.
I had a ribeye.
It was delicious.
And, they had the sides, of course, at those places, they usually have the sides that is for everyone. Mm-hmm. So we had a lobster mac and cheese, and we had mashed potatoes.
Yeah. And you know what? I am not a lobster person.
Right.
I am not. I know that's weird because I'm a crab girl. I love crabs. I know that's weird. Some people are like, how can you not like lobster when you like crabs? I'm sorry, but in my opinion, they have both different types of taste, and the texture is weird. Lobster to me is very rubbery.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It's funny because you like scallops too.
I love scallops.
Rubbery.
No, sir, but let me correct you there.
They are.
I think scallops are in a whole complete different level. I love scallops, and they don't taste like lobster or have that texture.
Every time we've had lobster mac and cheese, you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we went to this steakhouse for Omar's birthday. Was it last year?
It was 2023.
Are you sure it wasn't last
it wasn't
year?
last year. It was
I could have swore it was last year, but it was a delicious steakhouse, and their mac and cheese is actually better than Del Frisco's in my opinion. But I don't know. What's the name of that steakhouse in ATL?
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, man, it was
remember the
so
name.
good. It had upstairs, downstairs. It was like a hole-in-the-wall type restaurant. Nobody really knows, and it was just very
it's not
nice.
a hole in the wall. It looks like it from the outside.
Yeah, it
but
looks
it's
kind of like,
very
when you look
popular.
at it, you're like, oh, this place is kind of ghetto. What's going on?
But when you walk inside, you're like, oh, okay, I understand.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. But yeah, lobster just has a weird, funky taste to it, and I get kind of like spooked with the way they cook it, and when it screams too, when you put it in the steam of boiled water. I don't know. It's just, but then again, crab legs is a different story. It's like not.
Scream too, I hear.
I don't think so. I never heard a crab scream.
They don't scream. It's just
Oh my God, have you seen them on YouTube?
It's a myth. They don't scream.
No, but it was delicious. That lobster mac and cheese, and I can't wait to go back. Oh my God, how about the dessert?
Oh yeah, so we had like a
churro cake. It was.
no, it was a butter cake.
I know, but it tasted like a churro cake.
The steakhouse is called Hal's Steakhouse.
Hal Steakhouse. How do you spell that?
HAL''S.
Oh, okay.
Hal's the Steakhouse. Hal.
I highly recommend that steakhouse to anybody in ATL. We're ATL people. We love Atlanta. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, what did you say?
About the butter cake or
Oh,
churro
yeah.
cake.
Yeah, so that's what we got for dessert. Now, they had a dessert list. We had to get a dessert. And we could have went with the typical thing, like something chocolate or something, but, the server, he recommended the butter.
Yeah, he was nice too.
So, yeah.
I recommend you get the butter cake.
Yeah, so we got it, and it was delish. They also brought out, because it was our anniversary,
Oh yeah, that was.
they brought out
sweet.
a nice little mini cheesecake for
Yeah.
us as well that I got maybe one bite of.
That's a lie. Well, it was a little small though, but
it was enough
cute.
for about 5 bites. I got one. Okay?
That's a lie.
So, but it was very good, and we had that, and we had the butter cake. So overall, it was a great experience. And so when we left out of there, it's still kind of, the night's still young, right? And so
I did not feel like going home.
no, and the typical thing is like, oh, let's go to a movie. But it was like, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to do
Yeah.
something different.
And we're movie people. Like
Yeah.
we are like truthfully moviegoer type of people.
Right, but we do it at home.
Yeah.
We got Netflix and all that other stuff, and we go to the movies all the time. So I was like, man, I should have planned better, right?
Nah,
But I
you
did
were good.
But let me tell you guys something. When you've been with someone for so long, your mind, body, and soul is intertwined with that person. And my mom used to say this a long time ago, and I didn't pay attention to her because I was young,
Shout out to Mama.
dumb, and doing my thing. But she said you have to always be careful with who you're with because your soul's intertwined. And when you're with that person, and,
Facts.
and you get involved sexually, romantically, those things intertwine. And so my wife and I have been together for so long. We've been married 11 years now. We've been together this year. Towards the end of the year, we'll make 15 years that we've been together. And there's times where I'm thinking it, she says it, she's thinking it, I say it.
Yeah.
And we're like, I was thinking the same thing. So we were riding down International Drive, which is a big, long strip in Orlando that has everything outside of the theme parks. Well, one theme park
It's a plethora of entertainment, pretty much.
Yeah. One theme park is on International Drive, off of International Drive, which is SeaWorld. Well, anyways, as I was still trying to figure out what we were going to do, I made a U-turn, and in my mind, I said, man, you know what we haven't been in a long time, but we usually take our son. It's Dave and Buster's. And I'm like, but I don't want to do no damn Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
She's dressed up and
I was.
all this
But I
stuff.
brought Crocs.
You did. And so
And it was so cold that day, too.
right.
I was wearing a dress.
So as we're at the light and that's coming across my mind, you look over and you say, how about Dave and Buster's? And I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, we've been together too long. too long.
Because I almost leaned towards the movie theater, but I was like, no, we're not going to be doing a movie theater today. We always do that. Don't get me wrong. I love going to the movies with you. And that's something that we do a lot. And I love it. And we still do it. But I was like, man, Dave and Buster's.
Well, originally, what I wanted to do was take you. There's a place called the Chocolate Museum.
Oh, man.
And I wanted to take you there, but they
I would
were
have loved
already
that.
closed for the day.
Oh, I
So
love
when
chocolate. I wish I could take a bath in chocolate.
So when I looked online and I saw it, I said, "Oh man, they're already closed." So
Darn it.
that's when I made the U-turn because I was headed that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then when that came across my mind, and so we ended up going to Dave and Buster's. We hadn't been there in years, like since Isaac was probably in. I don't even know.
Middle school.
I don't even know. Was it middle school?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, probably middle school, like early part of middle school, you know? So we hadn't been in years. And
It was a great time.
yeah, and whenever we've gone, it's always been with Isaac. Mm-hmm. And we had such a great time.
Yeah, they changed a couple of things around and we were like, huh?
Yeah. Like now.
But it was
everything-
good.
It's like any place you go now, people, it's like the less people now. Everything is like, oh, you do it yourself. Like even
Digital and the app.
even some
Yeah.
public stores are becoming, they have some stores where you
The self-checkout.
self-checkout. I'm like, what's going on here?
No.
But
Not for Publix.
they do have some.
No, I know, but it's just I never thought Publix would do that.
Me too. Me either. There's a few of them that still don't do it, but
No, thank you.
We when we went, we were so used to there being a front desk and everything, and that's not there no more. You just go to the kiosk and you have to do everything there on the app. So we were doing that, and like I said, we just had a good time. But I just wanted to take a time to just reflect on, what you said. The previous years before we, you went through some of your health scares, we had some wonderful anniversaries. I think that
Yes, before that, yeah.
I think what gets lost a lot of time is that people believe that, for anniversaries and Valentine's Day, you must do this big, extravagant thing for the person you love.
No.
And I love doing things for you, with you, but people miss out on the real meaning of, an anniversary. It's celebrating the day that you decided to become one with this person
Find your soulmate.
and take this oath in front of God that you're going to both be there for each other.
Yeah.
For better or worse, to death do you part, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that gets lost in translation because we get caught up in what we see people doing and thinking, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to drop $5,000 and go to this, deserted island, or not deserted island, but this like great island and all those things.
Go to the Maldives.
Yeah. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. My wife and I, we've traveled, for our anniversary, and we love doing it. You know what I mean? I've taken her some places for our anniversary.
Remember New Orleans a couple
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah.
That was super fun.
It was.
We have all the pictures there to prove it too.
Absolutely.
Very, very nice.
But, it's about spending time with that loved one, because
It is.
a year ago, it was like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's about to happen here with her? Mm-hmm. But this year, it was just, we were there, we were enjoying dinner, we were talking, which we always do, but it was just very special because 11 years ago, we decided that, hey, we're going to go to the church, have Pastor Ring give us a little
His
thing.
blessing,
Yeah,
and let's
marry
sign
us.
off and let's do this.
Yeah. And then 7 months later, we decided to have a nice wedding.
The ceremony,
For family and, for us actually, but I just think that it's very important that when you're with someone that you found your person, that you remember what it's all about.
I have to second that for sure. And it doesn't mean that you have to spend yay amount of dollars on such a special day. Sometimes it's just the most convenience, cheapest things is just probably the best thing to do. Even like, and I just want to take this into perspective. Like I remember when we went and did that celebrity cruise, which was super cheap. It was a good deal. And I remember I looked at you and you were like, what do you want to do? And I was just like, I just want to be with you. I don't care if we sit in the pool all day and do nothing, or I don't, if you want to stay in the room all day, I'm okay with that too. But where I'm trying to get at is to let you know that I just don't care what we do in our anniversary or for our anniversary, because at the end of the day, I just want to be with you and embrace the fact that, wow, this is the day that I married my soulmate. So for me, money or these fancy things, don't really count. I mean, they do mean they're very special, but I think it does get lost in translation because it's just about being together and really celebrating this special day. That's what anniversary is. And that's why I do feel some type of way about Valentine's Day, because I feel that, remember, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day because we feel that love should be celebrated every day.
Yeah.
So for those that do, great, celebrate it, but love should be embraced and it should be celebrated every day with your loved one. But I mean, not saying that we don't get each other some yummy chocolates or something like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But
we've done things.
And we've done things for each other on Valentine's Day. We don't go all out like Christmas time or anything like that, But I think it's just a day that, you celebrate your loved one, but it should be celebrated all the time.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. And we have had times where, we were like, oh, we're going to do something crazy, and not crazy, but want to do extravagant. But then it's like, why? You know what I mean? I'll be like, baby, what do you want to do today? And I think the last time we really did something on Valentine's Day,
oh my
we
God,
went to Better Than Sex dessert.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
That was years ago.
Yeah.
Like 20.
This is before COVID times.
Way before COVID. Yeah. So, but again, we're not talking down or disparaging anyone if that's what you want to do. But just know that in most cases, that person just, as my wife just told me, when we went on that cruise, she just wanted to be us together.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it. You know what I mean?
I don't care what we did. You could have told me, hey, let's sit and people watch all day, which is fun. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So we had a good time. So let me ask you, you always hear a lot of young girls will say they always dream of the day of getting married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a dream of yours as a young girl that, hey, I want to get married, like your mom and your dad, or how did you like that?
Well, I'll tell you this much. Yes, I think that marriage is beautiful. Mm-hmm. I think the union between two loved ones, whether if it is man, woman, or same sex, whatever, love is love, period. And that's just my take on it. For me, I would have to say it wasn't like a thing that I dreamed about or I can't wait to get married, because it's just one of those things that I feel like it was more so I can't wait to find my soulmate. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like I was not enamored with fancy dresses. First of all, I'm not a dress person. You know me. I would much rather be in sweatpants and call it house clothes all day and getting all dolled up and all that stuff and having a big party and spending all this money. That's just not really me, But for me, it was more so I hope one day I find the love of my life. Mm-hmm. So I would have to say no. It was never like, oh, I can't wait to get married. Okay. But at the end of the day, I feel like marriage is still a beautiful thing that, once you do find that person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, of course, go through it. But you don't have to have the super $1 million type of wedding. Just go to the courthouse and get it over with and do it,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. Were you, because a lot of people go broke.
Oh my God.
Planning a wedding, doing a wedding and all that other stuff. Were you surprised when I proposed to you?
I was, because I thought it was going to be much later. Does that make sense?
Why? I mean, at that point, we had been dating about 4 years almost.
But I was not expecting it. It was out of nowhere. Like maybe, I don't know, a couple months.
So you never thought about, did you ever think about marrying me?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Of course, but I thought that you were going to pop the question much later. You know, like,
Really?
yeah, I don't know why.
I thought, now that I look back, I'm like, damn, 4 years was a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time, but I was like, I don't know. The way you recreated the whole proposal, it threw me off guard. I was not expecting anything.
So I recreated our first date.
Yes, he recreated our first date, and I was not expecting anything. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had said like a pendeja. I was like, oh, this reminds me of our first date, and I didn't even expect
You didn't catch
anything.
on enough.
I was like,
Yes.
an airhead, but I was just like, I guess I was not expecting it, because I'm going to just say it. I just like, am I good enough to be somebody's wife? Does he love me as much to be his wife? Am I good enough?
Oh, that's crazy to think.
Yeah. Like I would
just
I guess because of that esteem,
Yeah.
but I was just like, oh my God, it just caught me off guard. And it was one of the most happiest, beautiful things ever.
And then to top it off, it was like I proposed, and like 2-3 months later, we're married.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh, were you going to wait? And
Yeah.
no, we went.
I was like, hey, let's just do it.
yeah,
And we just came up with the date. Hey, you want to do it on January 1st? I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. I was all for it.
I never knew that it caught you off. Well, I'm not going to say it caught you off guard because you didn't know I was doing it, but I didn't know that you didn't know if it was going to be done so early.
Yes, I didn't
And
realize
I'm like,
that.
Man,
Yeah.
I took a little bit too long.
I didn't know if you wanted to wait more or anything like that. I know we spoke about it. We didn't even look for rings. I mean, come on. It was just like,
Yeah.
usually, you anticipated
Yeah, we
when
didn't
you're
talk.
with someone, you go to like the jewelry store, you start to kind of like playing around with your rings. I mean, everybody all my girlfriends told me like, yeah, we started going to jewelry spots and started looking around at rings and all that stuff. We didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
We did. It was literally out of the blue. I'm going to be honest. That's how I felt like, and I was not expecting anything.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I kind of thought, well, whenever he's ready to do it.
Because we didn't have a conversation about it.
We didn't even have a conversation about it.
I don't think did we ever talk about marriage?
The only thing you did ask me was, if you get married, would you ever change your last name? And
Yes.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready to drop that Latino last name.
Because listen, that was going to be the deal breaker. You told me you was about to do
Oh, wow. I see how that goes.
I've been told you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hyphenate.
I was like,
man,
I am so ready to let that last name go. Oh, heck yeah, in a heartbeat.
It's like 8 billion of y'all got the last Rivera last name. But anyways.
I know.
So, okay.
But we didn't talk about it. I wasn't looking for dresses. We didn't look for, again, it's anticipated at that time. Like, oh yeah, they're going to propose. I know he's going to propose. I know it's going to happen. We weren't doing any of that.
And I was trying to be as discreetful as possible because I'd already talked to your dad. God is blessing. Talked to my parents as well. And so at this point, we had went out of town for Omar's surprise birthday party. And when we were coming
so you were
back,
planning this for some time.
Yeah, I had already talked to you.
He's such a planner. I love it.
Omar had called me while I was coming back.
No
and
way.
So he said, so are you and Iris going to get married? Have you been thinking about it? I said, well, I couldn't share it because, people are around and everything. I said, but I plan on proposing to her in the next 2 months.
Wait a minute. You say you had this conversation with him while you were driving?
Yeah, you were in the car. You were asleep, though.
Wow.
You were like knocked out.
I am a deep sleeper then.
You were knocked out. I had to make sure you were knocked out.
Darn,
But
I
was
didn't
still
even hear that
whispering.
conversation. I could have prepared at least.
Yeah, so I told him everything. And he was like, wow, really? I said, yeah, man. I said, and peep this. I think that once I propose to her, we're going to go ahead and get married. Mm-hmm.
And I was ready. I remember I was like, when do you want to do it?
Yeah. So that was everything that I had in my arsenal. But at that point, because we're still kind of young. I mean, I was 31. You were.
I was about to be 30.
No.
Or 28?
29. Yeah, you were 28.
28, yeah.
Well, actually, I take that back. When I proposed to you, I had just turned 31.
Okay.
And you were already 28, I think.
Did you have a conversation with Isaac?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
He was much smaller at that time.
Yes, absolutely. Sure.
I could only imagine with his little boy voice.
Yeah.
Of course. Why don't you?
Yeah. So he was happy about it.
Good.
But it was nerve-wracking. And so I just...
Really? You got nervous too?
Yeah. Because I didn't know, like I said, this may sound crazy. I knew that we were in love with each other, but I didn't know if you would have been like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for you.
Really?
You know
but that's the same way I felt.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he's ready to marry me.
See, folks, if you're not in a relationship, if you're not married and you're listening to this podcast, it is very important to have these conversations.
We never had that
your
talk.
Other half. Because look at how we were with each other. I'm sitting on the other side going, I don't know. She on the other side going, I don't know. And we ain't talk about
I
it.
didn't
You know
even
what I mean?
know. That's why I didn't expect it.
See what I'm saying, y'all?
But then again, when it happened, I was ready. I was like, when do you want to do it? Remember, I was like all ready and I was excited. Yes. Let's do this. This is definitely right.
Yes.
I think my response was, heck yeah, I'll marry you.
Yes. Hey, talk it out. Just talk. I mean, you never know. Go down that avenue and see where the other party's feeling, because look at this shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, so. And
I was not. I'm going to tell you right now. I was not going to be that type of like fiancés where, oh yeah, we're like fiancé or married to be engaged for like 2-3 years. No. No, that shit was not going to fly with me. No, I wasn't gonna do you that. Proposed to me, we is going to get married.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know why people do that, but it's okay. Hey, whatever works for you, just whatever. But I was not me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad that we talked about that, because I didn't know. But
I didn't know neither.
Yeah.
You could have told me sooner, sir.
Listen, you could have said something too. You know what I mean? But
you didn't even take me ring shopping. What was I supposed to expect?
It's supposed to be a surprise.
And I think
that kills the anticipation if I'm going to take you ring shopping.
But that's what normal people do, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Everyone I know, oh yeah, we started looking at rings and we started talking about marriage, and I know he's going to propose this weekend. It's like, how do you know that?
That builds up disappointment though, because what if it doesn't happen? You know what I mean?
I'm sitting there like,
you need to have a conversation about, hey, how do you feel about marriage and things like that. But to take a person ring shopping, do these things, and then it doesn't happen.
Some people do that.
That's going to build up disappointment for you, because if it doesn't happen, then you're going to be pissed off. I can't believe he didn't propose. This didn't happen. This didn't happen.
Yeah,
or
that's how it happens.
If you take the ring shopping and then you propose and she says no, you know what I mean? So it's good to have these conversations. You know what I mean? It's good to like not go out there and say, oh, we're going to get proposed on this date. No, but it's good to get a feel of that person. But the one thing I can say, that there was no doubt that I knew that I was in love with you. You were in love with me.
Of course.
So it wasn't, any doubts on that front, but it was just like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So,
so please have that conversation with your loved one before then. I mean, don't take them ring shopping. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean,
just
you could
do it. Just take
ring.
One of their rings and just be like, hey, let me find something that matches on the low.
Yeah, you could do that later on.
Their size and stuff. And I think when you got me the ring, it didn't fit.
It did not. So
that's how spontaneous and like out of nowhere it was. Believe me, you probably listening to this, you're like, how did you not know? I didn't even think about it, because I was just like, okay. So I remember when we were saying our nuptials there in front of the pastor, and you were gonna put it in the ring finger, and then it stopped. And then Pastor Ring was like, did you get it sized properly in front of everyone? Yeah. Did you get the ring sized properly? And you were like, no, I just bought it.
Yeah.
So I made it work somehow, and I got it, enlarged.
Enlarged, and you got you another ring.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot.
An anniversary ring.
It was like our 7th or 6th.
Beautiful ring.
But Yeah, so I'm just blessed and grateful to be able to sit here and say, hey, I celebrated my 11th year anniversary.
Yeah, we officially hit that 10-year mark.
Yeah.
And what else can we expect? Like, we have many happier years ahead of us, more greater things to do, greater surprises, and I'm just excited. I can't wait, and hopefully stand here, be alive, healthy, and say, I'm celebrating my 40th, you know?
Yes.
So I hope I get to do that with you.
Absolutely.
And I know that we will. And we were possibly talking about 15th anniversary, maybe.
We'll see.
Doing a party.
Man, listen, parties drain the heck out of me. But
No, we're not going to do like a wedding, like with, what is it? With bridesmaids. We're not doing all that mess and groomsmen. It's just a nice little anniversary. Hopefully, if he accepts.
Yeah.
Look at his face right now. Do you not like people anymore? Or parties? He's just not a party person like he used to be.
I'm not a party person.
But you have fun when you go.
I do at times, but I enjoy. So as the older I get, the more introverted that I get when it comes to doing things. Whereas when I was younger, oh my God, I was the life of the party, the center of attention, and all that other stuff. But now it's like I just enjoy being with my family, and that's about it. I don't
Amen.
Want, all these people.
I love parties. I love me a good party.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's in your DNA. You can't help it.
Whatever. Latina, proud Latina up in here.
Yeah, but that's good. So the moral of the story, folks, is talk.
Whatever.
Just talk. That's all you need to do is talk.
Listen, I didn't think I was good enough to be your wife.
Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. All right, well, I guess that'll do it for today. But again, such a beautiful, wonderful thing to celebrate an anniversary.
Yeah, and I look forward for next year and
let me say this.
Be healthy and happy.
Even though we did not have an opportunity to do the things that we wanted to do
right
the previous 3 years, I was still blessed and happy that I was with you.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That means a lot.
Despite the circumstances,
it would have been the same for me, vice versa.
Yeah. So I was blessed and happy that I was still there with you, and I knew there would be other opportunities for us to, do what we did this time. I mean, hell, a good anniversary would have been, cooking some chicken wings.
I knew you were going to say chicken wings.
And sitting in front of watching.
Going to Wings Over in a Garden?
Something like that. You know what I mean?
That's what we did for your birthday this year.
Yes.
Or last year, if I should say.
And as I've said before, it took her 14 years at that time to finally do what I want to do for my birthday. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to us today.
Aww.
Really appreciate it.
I don't want to leave.
Well, you'll be back. Remember, you're supposed to be helping me with these interviews. So
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah. We'll see, y'all. We'll see. If she
Whatever. I will, sir.
Okay. Well, this has been Conversations with
Ronnie, Keith, and Iris.
And Edie.